to the next presentation, which is happening right now, Key to High Performance Culture. And that will be conducted by Mr. Anoop Ramachandran, Director, PHI Edge, and Vibha Anoop, Director, PHI Edge. Can we have a huge round of applause for both of them, please?
Thank you so much. I want to thank the organizers actually. The reason for thanking them is that before coming for this session, we had a choice. We were given a choice. Pre-lunch or post-lunch session, what do you want? Pre-lunch means you're waiting for your lunch, extremely hungry. Post-lunch, all of us in a proper cheerful mood, etc. I want to thank them because the breakfast was arranged later actually. So I know that the pre-lunch is still better. Hungry and agile is still much, much better. With that, let me start with a small overview. Something about us. We are just a 12-year young organization. 3 founders. We have seen the pains of an HR head, of employees, of organizations, and this is how we actually developed a particular product. Most of the issues that we heard in the panel discussions have been addressed more or less. Okay, so we'll be happy to share that with you. We are a 35-member strong team. We are working with about 100 clients. We cater to various industries and geographies, so we are not only a technology firm, we are also a consulting organization. These are our business verticals. Catalyst is our business intelligence solution. PMS is one such module actually. Now PMS is a very dangerous word because when I was heading HR for Bajaj Auto Finance, so somebody said, PMS is not performance management, it's performance management, performance managed system. So I said, why do you say it's performance managed? So I said, you do a very dirty activity called bell curving. Okay, all of us actually do a lot of bell curving, okay? We love it, organization loves it because actually it saves a lot of money. The managers don't like it, the employees don't like it. They say that I also get the same rating, he also got the same rating. How is it that, I mean, you bell curved me, you pushed me down, and you pushed him up? So that's where we realize that the moment you remove the bias and you give the authority for a particular employee to perform, he is his own manager or she is her own manager, that's when actually the normalization, the bell curving actually goes away. So we try to do a lot of these things through Catalyst. Our second vertical is basically the HR advisory, where we provide consulting services to various organizations across the country. Could be in manufacturing space, automotive, engineering, retail, financial services, construction, etc. We do a lot of talent acquisition. So per year, we would do about 400 hiring CEOs, CXOs, etc. And we also guide a lot of HR heads in the organizations. This is not for very large organizations, the fourth one. It's primarily for organizations which are anywhere from about, say, 300 crores to about, say, 700, 800 crore turnover. Instead of talking about concepts and everything, I thought we should just speak about one particular client that we did some consulting work for. So we'll share some brief about the client, what was the problem, what was the intervention, and what was the outcome. Because Gyan, I think all of us know much, much more than us actually. So I thought this is a wrong forum to actually share anything about that. What we are going to share, and after that, I will hand it over to Vibha, because the attention span of any human being is actually just about 5 minutes. 5 minutes gets over now, so then I think I'll invite Vibha to come and speak. But the client is a mid-size manufacturing company, turnover 2,000 crores, operating through 7 plants in the country. Employee strength is 3,000, but that includes 2,000 blue-collared. They have domestic as well as international markets. The 3-year plan is to actually hit 5,000 crores. Now, seems a tall order that how come 2,000 crore to 5,000 crores actually? So I asked the same question to the promoter. 3 years, can you hit from 2,000 to 5,000 crores? So he said, I'll give you one answer. In the first year, we were 500 crores, and in the second year, we were 1,500 crores. So does that answer your question? Do you think I can manage? I said, yeah, you can. But that's where actually all the challenge, all the problems happen. They have all the state-of-art machinery, cutting-edge products, but the issue that they faced, they grew so fast that the employees were not able to cope with the pace of growth, and they were not future ready. That was the issue. India is one of the largest, the fastest growing economy in the world actually. It's about growing at the rate of 7%. The next is US actually, but rest all are growing at a much slower pace. Even China is growing at a pace of about 5.1%. And hence, this sort of an issue will become more and more glaring for various organizations across the country. If anybody wants to say that I want to go and study outside, I don't think that's a good idea. You should tell your children that no, have your career in India itself, okay? So with that, I would request Vibha to share some light. I'll manage the slides for you, Vibha.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Anoop. And when we did a diagnostic with this client, and typically we tried to put down the issues what were faced by the client, and what happened is that we realized that everybody in the organization, because the client grew very fast, was actually working a lot on firefighting. There was a lot of firefighting going on, and at each level people were doing jobs lower than what actually their role is. The second was because there were many plants and there was a corporate and there was not smooth functioning between that, there was delay in decision making and unclear reporting was happening. Accountability was not defined well. There was always a mismatch between what the company was looking at in terms of expectation whenever there was a crisis situation and what the employees were thinking was supposed to be done. Of course, attrition today, all of us know that attrition is a big concern area when it comes to, today any industry. In fact, in manufacturing, which was earlier not having such a high attrition, today it is almost 20-24% attrition coming in. So high attrition was an issue. Of course, engagement, there was disengaged employees, which was a concern. As I said, plant and corporate working together, and this is typically we see this concern area at many organizations, that corporate becomes power center and plants really, or the branches as we call, or the people who are at the regions find it very difficult in order to get the decisions done, and sometimes people sitting in the corporate are not aware of the day-to-day issues that are happening at the ground level. Another thing, when we spoke to the employees and we did an employee engagement survey with them, we understood that they don't really, even if the company is growing at this pace, the employees were not perceiving that there is growth happening in the organization. And of course, there was not enough talent pipeline, and hiring was becoming a major challenge in the organization because the organization was growing at a very fast pace. So with this problem, we kind of had a lot of discussions with the leadership, and this is the journey that we kind of carved out with them. We focused on 3 major issues. The first is to kind of have a series of interventions to build accountability within the company, and we will share with you how we went about that. The second piece that we worked on was engagement. How do you really create an engaged workforce? So, even if you have accountability and the employees are really not engaged, you will not be able to get the effect of, any performance management system, for example, if you want to implement, unless the employees are really engaged, you really won't get the outcome for the business. And of course, working on HiPods, or we called it, of course, UDAN, which is identifying and developing HiPods within the organization and how do you grow them. And while working on these 3 areas, we also focused a lot on, change management process, using the principles of change management process. And we used a platform which is known as Catalyst, and Anoop spoke about that, in order to kind of have all these interventions really built on a platform. Because many of you all since morning have been listening that there are great platforms which are available, but unless they really suit the need of the organization, and we kind of have very specific customizations done for the organization, it really doesn't work well. So what we did is that we worked on accountability, engagement, and also on developing leaders, but on a platform which was on Catalyst. Just to take you a little bit on what we did in terms of the bridge building accountability, the first and foremost was to get the leadership to actually have a picture of what's happening down the line. That introspection exercise, when we did it, really created a lot of alignment in the leadership. Of course, we had roles and responsibilities signed off, and we worked on a very interesting thing which is known as, from the grassroots level, at the operator to the supervisors to the assistant manager, how you build an MIS, and management information system, which is ground up. So what needs to be measured on a daily basis, what on a weekly, monthly to annually operating plan to the STRAP, which is a 3-year plan, how the reporting system has to be there. And then we map that reporting system into Catalyst, which you will see as we go ahead. Of course, worked on the, just go back, on the digitized performance management system, which Anoop will take you through. We conducted a lot of goal setting workshops, did some compensation restructuring, had designed a variable pay plan, and also worked on the authority and escalation matrix in the company. These things actually helped in increasing the people productivity and realization among the employees of who's doing what. And I'm very happy to share that some of the sentences which came in is that now we don't need to push. Every person is really focusing on his own KPIs and saying, okay, I need to do this, what I want is this. So there was a kind of pull factor rather than a push factor in the organization when we kind of implemented Bridge. Now I give it to Anoop to kind of take you through the other interventions too.
Sure. So thanks, Vibha. Now, it's extremely important to actually create a culture inside the organization, because even if you have all the systems and the processes in place, if you do not have a culture, everything dies down very soon. If people are not engaged, if people actually do not believe in the power of reviews and performance, etc., nothing survives. And that's the reason why we come in and we merge our consulting experience along with technology, and that's we provide that. So we do a lot of, in this particular organization, we build the culture through a lot of culture building workshops. We took care of all the vision, mission, values. We coined it, we actually shared it with all the employees. We actually build it along with them rather than actually it being a top-down approach. We did a lot of communication exercises actually. And then we also helped the organization win the Great Place to Work award, and there are various awards, whatever organization wants to win, we actually help them win. So we actually improve the brand of the particular organization, which helps them attract and retain their particular talent. Coming to UDAN, so here it was extremely important, as I mentioned, that the organization really grew. But the people actually could not cope up with the particular organization, and hence it was very necessary to actually identify the particular leaders. So we identified all the leaders, critical position mapping we actually did. We identified 1 or 2 successors for each and every critical role. We designed assessment centers, conducted them, identified the top 25 talent pool, ring fence them, because you spend so much of money and then if you're not able to manage them, what's the point? So we created a ring fencing program for them. And then after that, we also did a 1 year of extensive coaching for all these leaders. Because if you just prepare an IDP, now what we did is actually an action coaching, because we just do an IDP. You prepare an IDP, individual development plan, but then actually you don't ensure that they adhere to those particular IDP, continuous following up with them, coaching them, etc. It dies down. You cannot leave the entire coaching to their line managers or to HR, because they are so tied up with their day-to-day job that you actually would need an external person to spend time in terms of coaching. So we have coaches which have about 3 to 4 decades of experience, business heads, MD, CEOs of organizations who actually have coached these people, and they all have grown up the organization. The final outcome that happened is that highly engaged workforce was actually created. We improved the employer branding. The attrition actually came down significantly. And the leadership pipeline was actually built. So these were a couple of key takeaways that we managed. Now let me come to the more interesting part, which is the software that we developed. Because when we actually developed the software, we did not develop the software by looking at all other softwares. We actually spoke to the MDs and the promoters. We spoke to the HR heads. I took my own experience in terms of what are the pain points that we see. First, I believe all the HR heads would agree that the biggest issue is asking people to fill up their goal sheet. People just don't fill their goal sheet at all. They say, "मैं क्यों भरूं? तुम्हारा काम है, HR का काम है, right?" So I said, why? And employees can't be blamed. They just need to perform. They need to get their money. Why should they fill their goal sheet? Why should a manager, and actually all the managers, they dread the reason. I mean, whenever the time comes to review, they say, no, I don't want to review. I just want to give everybody a fair rating. Everybody gets good money. And then finally, who does the bad job? HR actually does the bad job by doing bell curving. So we said, why have all these things? Let the system, the employee performs in a matter of seconds. So we are not talking about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, couple of hours of evaluation. The system, the moment you enter your achievements, the system should be able to give you all the monthly scorecards, the yearly dashboards, where you have done well, where you have done bad, everything in a matter of nanoseconds. People do not have time for even 5 minutes, because I was heading HR for Bajaj Finance, and there they said, loan processing, 4 minutes. Oh my God, 4 minutes not possible. Loan processing should happen in 1 minute time. So when I said loan processing can happen in 1 minute's time, why should an employee wait for a feedback for about maybe say few days, few months? He performs or he does not perform, sorry, it could be she also. The feedback should be immediate. We have moved out from the rating to a score. All the managers immediately will know how their team has performed. More importantly, I read a lot of feedback. I heard a lot of people there, they said that we should actually link all the scores and everything to the business performance. So ideally, it's not a performance management system. Here, actually, the company gets a scorecard in terms of how the company has done, and company actually does a board meeting using this particular system. The HODs get a complete view about how they have done, how their teams have done for the month, YTD. They can choose any month, they can choose any year, they can choose any parameter, rather than actually getting into all those things. So these are a few things that we have done. So the modules that we have, in short, is primarily the business performance management system. It is not a performance management system. People should be able to allocate tasks to anybody. We have a complete competency model. It can be done by anybody. We have a complete learning and development module. I am not getting into all those things. We have IDP, we have PIP, we have 9 boxes, wherein automatically if a person performs, automatically the performance will actually go into the 9 box. So it should be that way, rather than actually we manually putting all those things inside. Ideally, when a person performs, automatically it should get converted into all the increments, all the bonus, and all the incentives. The life of an HR should be extremely easy. My clients, they say only one thing: thank God, now we are not the villain of the piece. Because every time an HR or the line manager, whenever a review comes, they say that, oh my God, now whatever rating I give him, I become the villain actually. So why should they become the villain? Why should any of us actually become a villain? You perform, you take it. You don't perform, you don't take it. There is no question of bell curve. So that is what we actually thought of creating in terms of Catalyst. We have got more than about 15,000 users. We have about 45-50 clients. It's a very new product. It's just about 1 year. But our consulting is extremely old. So whatever advice that we get from all our clients is what we merge it inside the system continuous. So if somebody says, is your system ready? Will it ever be ready? No, it will never be ready, because we change all the time. So that's a small brief. Something, Vibha, would you want to?
No, I think we are short of time.
We are short
but
of time.
some of the key differentiators, of course, there is API integration, which many of you all spoke about. Our system has the capability of API integration, and that can be done. Instead of having an annual appraisal, we talk about monthly YTD scores coming in. There are different, of course, it's WhatsApp and email features, notification can be done. So these are some of the things, maybe, we can discuss more. We have our own outside, the stall is there, and you all can talk and understand more about this. Just quickly, Anoop, the next
All
one.
your goals should be uploaded in about, say, 10 minutes time. Yeah. It could be 1,500 employees, 2,000 employees. Why does it have to take more than a month? No need.
Time.
Okay.
Next. Just next. These are some of the dashboards that you can see in the system. They're quite interesting. Maybe, you can have a demo with our team, which is outside. And the next one.
Yeah, all your org structures, everything is live.
These are some of our other products that we do. Campus to Corporate is also something that we have devised, which is our recruitment cell actually does this, wherein we help you hire GETs and management trainees, and kind of handhold them for a year, giving them some kind of training, projects to kind of ensure that the retention happens within the organization, because that's one of the key concerns which HR professionals have. So this is one of the products we have. And finally, the clients who trust us, I think maybe we can share. This is on talent acquisition. As Anoop shared, we do more than 400 hiring per year. And these are our clients that we work with, whom we are thankful to them for trusting us. And that's about it from our side. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so
everybody.
much. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Can we have a huge round of applause, everyone? And I'll request both of you to please grab your place in the center stage, as we'd like to have one picture with both of you and also felicitate you. For felicitating our presenter, I'll call upon Ambal Sarvanan, HR Transformation Leader, Intellect Design Arena Limited. Can we have you on stage, please? And I'll request you to felicitate one by one Anoop Ramachandran, Director, PHI Edge, along with Vibha Anoop, Director, PI Edge.
For the lady.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Can we have a huge round of applause, everyone?